This is one of the reasons why I don't have female friends. At that point, started moving in slow-mo. Like, she put her ass on the man's pillow where he puts his head every night. And I just was like, whoa. She started splashing around the room. Hey, it's your girl Kay, and I hope you guys are ready for what's in store in this story time about my roommate experience my freshman year of college. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hey, it's your girl Kay, and thank you for tuning in for another freaking story time. This one, oh my gosh. Are y'all ready? I don't think y'all ready. But this one is a story time on the time I got to college and I thought my roommate was gonna be my bestie, if you will. And stay tuned. Okay, so let's just say when I first decided that I wanted to go to Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida, I had already, went through the process with picking a roommate and figuring out, what dormitory I was gonna stay in and all that good jazz, right? I already had my roommate picked out. We kept in contact. I remember her telling me that she was gonna do summer bridge, which is summer bridge is you take a couple classes during the summer in advance so that once you start your freshman year officially come August, you're already prepared and ahead of the game, right? So me and her had already exchanged numbers and so forth. So we had already transitioned our relationship from the portal in which we had to meet each other or find each other, select whether or not we would be a good fit for each other. We'd already went through that whole process, so we'd already exchanged numbers and everything else. Transitioning into a couple of my friends that I went to high school with were also attending this university at the same time. So I wouldn't have felt alone. I was also in band, if y'all did not know. So, and if you want to know, I played the piccolo. So that was also a reason why I went to Bethune-Cookman, because I hoped to attend band when I did attend band for my freshman year or whatever. So one of my friends that I went to high school with had messaged me like, Kaylin, your roommate is looking for you. And I'm like, looking for me? My roommate has my number. Like, I'm so confused. She's like, girl, she's putting your student ID all over social media on Snapchat. Because at this point, they had made a Snapchat with all the incoming freshmen. So it was like a group, basically like a full thread. I can't remember what Snapchat officially called it back then. But it was a full thread of just people that you would be incoming freshmen with so that you guys could already become acquainted with each other, right? So I'm like, send me the post. So she screenshots it and send it to me, and I'm like, who is this girl and why is she putting my student ID out here like that? Like, that's almost like giving out my social security number, like, girl. So I'm like trying to figure out what the heck at this point is my login to the app, because I had been working, so I was busy that summer. Like, school hadn't even started yet. I think it was like June that she was, or like, no, it wasn't June, because I had already knew who my roommate was between May and June of spring semester before I actually got my diploma. So I'm trying to figure out what is my password to log in. So I'm like, okay, it's July. Let me try to figure out what my password is. I done forgot, because like I said, I had already knew who my roommate was come May of that year, 2017. In June, I already knew who my roommate was. So there was no need for my roommate to be trying to contact me through this portal or trying to contact me via social media, because we already had exchanged numbers, or so I thought, okay? Come to find out, this roommate who was supposed to be my roommate, she had went on, like I said, to summer bridge. So she was no longer my roommate. She basically got stuck in the summer bridge dormitory that she had selected during the summer. They only had one dorm that they kind of like forced them to stay in. They couldn't like transition to where they already were selected to go into for August of 2017. So I messaged her like, were you looking for me? She's like, girl, no, we're not even roommates anymore, and I'm so sad about it. I'm sad we're not gonna be able to meet, but you know, or we're not gonna be roommates, but hopefully we're still able to meet come the semester, once the semester began in August. So I'm like, okay, cool. So now I'm like, okay, let me figure out my password. So I'm trying to log in, trying to figure out my password to this platform that we had to use, or the portal that we had to use. Figured out my password, and I see that there's this girl messaging me a million times like, hey, I'm your roommate, what is your phone number, maybe we can exchange numbers. So I'm like, girl, I don't even know you. Like, who are you and why? Who sent you and why are you putting my stuff all over social media? Like, what on God's green earth is wrong with you? So I'm like, okay, we can, you know, message on here. And then eventually, you know, we kept trying to, you know, have conversations. She's like, what is going to be our theme for our room? You know, we started gradually building conversation. So then we started exchanging numbers. She's like, what's going to be the colors of our room? And as y'all can tell, I clearly love black. Okay. Black and white. Right now I'm in the tiger. Okay. Our theme for our room, I was like, I would prefer black, white, and like blue, just to add a pop of color. So she was like, okay, well, I already have my comforter for my bed and it's already black and white. So maybe you can just go ahead and get yours. So she's like, who's getting the curtains? Because we had a window and everything. I was like, don't worry, I'll get the curtains. And we could just use a shower rod to a tension rod, because we knew that our walls in the room was going to be cement. So that meant that we weren't going to be able to actually put nails or holes into the wall. We had to, like, you know, figure some stuff out. So we got a shower tension rod, which was pretty smart if you ask me, to make the room look homey. And I think we went with white curtains to still bring in light. Our window wasn't that big, but it was big enough to where we were able to get sunlight in, thank goodness. And we, you know, would FaceTime every now and then. Like, we grew a really good relationship, but I was still on edge because I'm like, I don't know this girl from a can of paint. We'll call her Honey, okay, for the sake of this story, okay? And Honey, it came August, moving day was here. My mom was helping me move in. Her dad was helping her move in. Growing to know each other, like, as the semester went on. When you saw Honey, you saw me. And when you saw me, you saw Honey. We were like two peas in a pod. We never went anywhere without each other unless we were going to class. And even then, sometimes I didn't, you know, we would still walk basically with each other. We just, you know, kind of went our separate ways because I had a major that was totally different from what her major was at the time. So moving on, we get to mid-semester, and like I said, we grew close with the girls down the hallway. We had a really good relationship with our RA on our hallway. When I tell y'all, the third floor of Bronson Hall 2017, we were all really close for the most part, especially like the back end of the hallway. I can't remember what my room number was. I feel like it was 309. It might have been 309. I know we were third floor Bronson Annex. If you know, you know. We had a really good time. Freshman year was really, really a great year. Circa 2017 at Bethune-Cookman, you just had to be there. But anyway, so we got really close with a bunch of girls down the hallway, like I said. Even the girls across the hallway. We would play Uno. We would get drunk together. We would go walk into Checkers up the street together. Like, when I tell you, it was a vibe. It was a vibe. Like, we had a great time. And I remember it was so many times where, like, people would stop liking us, like, because my roommate Honey was kind of a bully. I ain't gonna lie, she was a little bully, and sometimes I would step in. I wouldn't like step in and be like doing too much, but I'd be like, all right now, Honey, that was a bit much. You taking it a little bit too far. Like, calm down, we just joking. It's all for shits and giggles. There's no reason for anybody to feel, you know, really upset, especially if you're joking with somebody and you know that person will take it to hell. You know that you shouldn't be joking with them if you know you're gonna be sensitive. And thankfully, anytime I would be joking with Honey, it was never to the point where I felt like, okay, you're taking this shit too far, because she knew how far she could push me. And I was never sensitive. I've All my life, I've never been sensitive. Thank you to my family members for kind of paving the way for that, because I could be very, let me just say, I can take it there. I could truly take it there, all right? So we get to one night in particular, we were in the caf, okay? And I'm gonna just say, we were in the caf and one of our friends, I'll name her Netta, okay? It was Netta, and I'm gonna give her a name. What should be her name? Angel, okay? Angel and Netta were our roommates across the hallway, and like I said, we grew really close with the girls down the hallway. There were several other girls that we used to hang with, but for right now, we're just gonna be talking about those two girls that were across the hall, okay? Netta and Angel. So Netta was a girl that was very sensitive. She want to joke with you, but the minute that you said anything to her that she felt like, okay, this was taking it too far, she would then try to play the victim, like, oh my God, why would you say that? But it's just like, you took it there. You started with this person first, and then you expected them not to say nothing back. Okay, you know that they can be really obnoxious, and you know when somebody is obnoxious, they're gonna take it to hell. So why would you even start with them? That's just simply how I felt, right? So one night we're in the caf. Everybody at this point, like I said, we had already, it's probably October. So we about 3 months in. We 3 months in to our freshman year of college, and Netta and everybody has already said who they want to be their man. Me, freshman, I'm still scoping the scene. I ain't talking to nobody. There's one person in particular that I like, that I had class with, who we ended up growing really close and really good friends, and I appreciate him today. That's still my boy. That is still my boy to this day. But everybody had their guy that they would say, like, that's me. If you see him, no, that's mine, okay? Whether they were on a football team, basketball team, whatever the case might have been, they in the group had their guy that they were into. So this night in the caf, Netta had already DM'd the guy who she really liked on Instagram. And when she DM'd this guy, I guess he ended up, having little conversations through the DM, but it would be more like a swipe up kind of thing. And Snapchat. So, they got their little thing going on, but we don't really know the full details yet. So they see each other in the caf, and it's like googly eyes, like you could tell, like, okay, I see you kind of thing, right? And Netta is like, no, talking to this guy. So then the other guy comes over. The guy comes over, and he brings his friend or his homeboy with him. The homeboy, in a sense, comes over and is now trying to talk to me, right? And this is somebody that I typically wouldn't even go for, but he's also on the football team. So we'll name him Bum, okay? So Bum was trying to talk to me, and then the other guy, we'll name him Rocky. Rocky was trying to holler at Netta because they had already had conversation through DM. So but it's very copacetic. It's very much just kikiing with each other in the caf. And little did I know that at the time that Bummy was trying to holler at me. I just thought it was just for shits and giggles. So, and again, I'm in band, so I'm really busy. I don't have time to be keeping no conversation. Like, I'm really busy at this time of my life, right? And my roommate, Honey, decides, like, let's do a game night. So we're like, okay, cool. Like, let's do this game night. So we have game night in our room. And then she was like, you know what? I think I want, this is Netta speaking now. Netta is like, I think I want us to go and hang out with Rocky. Because at this point, they had already been seeing each other. They've been hanging out. They've been doing their thing. They've been doing a big one. You feel me? And she felt like she wanted to see if he could hang around her friends or if her friends could hang around him, and didn't want it to be, everybody to be uncomfortable. Now, we had two other friends in this circle in which I did not name. We're going to name one Joycelyn, and we're going to name the other one Nasty. Nasty was nasty. But it was 3 of us from Atlanta in the group. Joycelyn was one of them. I almost said her name, y'all. Joycelyn was one of them, and Nasty was another one. We 3, including myself, or them including myself, were from Atlanta originally. So we knew that, you know, we would probably see each other well after college is finished, once we went back home, if that's what we decided to do. So we built a really good relationship as well. But we all had a relationship within the circle of us, 6 of us. We all grew really close, and it was just a vibe. It was always a vibe. So we get to the day in which I think like 2 weeks had went on. So Netta and Rocky had been dealing with each other, and me and Bummy would just text every now and then when I wasn't busy and when he wasn't busy with football and stuff. So it came down to the night where we had game night. It was a Friday night, and I will never forget this night, right? We get to Rocky's room because Rocky and Bummy were roommates, if I didn't say that already. And these are upperclassmen, if I didn't say that as well. They were juniors, I want to say, and we were freshmen. And, you know, a lot of people will tell you, like, don't deal with no upperclassmen. It's a bunch of problems, especially as a freshman. But I wasn't looking for nothing, like no serious relationship at the time. I'm just trying to have fun. I'm just trying to vibe. Where the vibe at? First of all, I'm Caribbean, and only myself and my roommate were Caribbean amongst the 6 of us that were friends at the time. So it was like, we ain't really had my vibe. I wasn't going to like the American parties for real. I was really outside with my Caribbean Student Association members. Like we was having a good time. And we get to the night of the game night, and I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. But I'm just ready to see it. Y'all, we get to this guy's room, and I kid you not, if I didn't mention, I'm gonna mention it now. My roommate was from DC, like real DC. I mean, accent and all. But when I tell y'all, I've never in my life, she had an accent. Don't get me wrong, she had an accent. But it's like, when we got to this guy's room, to Rocky's room, the accent went up like 8 notches. 8 notches. I kid you not. I had never in my life heard somebody flip a script like so quick. Everything was 10 times harder, like, and I'm not gonna try to imitate the accent. If you know, you know. But Sister Girl was putting on for her city that night, okay? We started playing the first game. I could already tell, like, shit is about to hit the fan. Like, I could already tell by the way she's acting, Honey is acting, the way Honey was acting, I could already tell that shit was about to hit the fan. So, we're playing the game. The beds are on 2 separate sides of the room, and there's 2 desks with little dressers on either side. And they push the desks together in the middle of the room to kind of divide their beds. So, because again, this is Rocky's and Bummy's room. So the desk, so we like playing, and people are standing up. Remember, it's 6 girls and 1 guy playing Uno with us. And we thinking like it's about to be a vibe. We're not playing for shots. We ain't doing none of that. We are literally all sober playing Uno. So we start playing. Everything is copacetic. And next thing I know, my roommate starts, again, putting on an accent for her city. She starts throwing out her cards. Just throwing them out. Throwing them out. Before I know it, she slapped me with like, I want to say 4 draw 2s. So that means I had to draw 8 cards. And I didn't say nothing. I got quiet. I don't remember what was said or who said what first, but somebody between Nasty and Joycelyn, somebody said something along the way that made roommate Honey turn it up 4 more notches. So now we at 12 DC, okay? If I could give a description. So now, I don't remember who started to say what first. All I know, it was like a switch just flipped. And my roommate Honey just started going off, calling nasty a string bean, a shoestring, a number 2 pencil. I kid you not, I was like, yo, like, what is happening here? We're just playing Uno. We're literally just playing Uno. The guy at this point, instantly, the look on his face, that man was so uncomfortable. And I at that point was so embarrassed. I don't do public humiliation. So now I feel not only bad for myself, I feel bad for this guy, Rocky. And I also feel bad for our friend who's trying to build a relationship with Rocky, and she's trying to bring her friends around, and we're humiliating her like this. This is how we going out in 2017. I'm like, girl, calm down. We're just playing Uno. So I'm like, honey, chill. We just playing a game, bruh. There's no need to take it personal, because I think somebody had ended up slapping her with a bunch of cards along the way, and it caused her to get mad. And I'm just like, yo, it's just a game, bro. It's just a game. We just playing Uno. All we did was come to play Uno, and you are in here showing your ass. When I tell you, she gets an attitude. She starts sitting on the desk. Now we done moved on. I can't remember who won the game at this point. Now we done moved on to the second game. Before you knew it, you thought shit was worse just now. Nah, shit got way worse. Before you knew it, Honey was telling Joycelyn that, oh, you know, that's why your man cheated on you and this and that. And I'm just like, yo, this is not the place for this. And we're just playing Uno. And you're behaving like this? You gonna come in here in this man room whom which we do not know like that and cause an argument or start a fight by bringing up shit that don't even matter? We're playing a game of Uno, and your starting shit is not necessary. So I had about, I want to say 4 draw 4s. And if you know, you play Uno, you got 7 cards in your hand. So the rest of them was like maybe reds and like a yellow. So I had 4 cards that were draw 4s. And it was my turn. I was waiting on the opportunity for somebody to reverse the cards. And when they did, I gave her the works. I just started slapping them because we playing train. If you know you black, you don't play no regular Uno for real. We're playing train, and I'm just throwing out the draw 4s. Because we always ask, when we playing Uno, we always ask, okay, how we playing? Are we playing the real way that they say to play it on the back of the card deck? Or are we playing it the black people way? And we were showing up playing it the black people way. So I'm slapping them with the draw 4s. And it was Honey's turn. Y'all remember the first game that we played, she threw out like I had to draw 8 cards. And I did not complain. I didn't fuss. I didn't make a scene. Because I'm like, bro, we just here to play a game. I'm just here for a vibe. I'm just here for a good time to, you know, also help my friend show her man, in which, you know, at the time they were still dating or talking at the time, like bring him in so he could see the vibe, like how we are. Because, you know, people always say, I don't know if y'all have ever heard this term or saying, I know growing up my grandparents and parents have always said birds of a feather flock together. So if your friends act a certain way, that kind of tells the person that you are based off the company that you keep. So I'm like, yo, this man is probably thinking in his head like, oh, hell no. Like, your friends are crazy and so are you. Just because you hang around them, he probably wants nothing to do with us. My roommate starts flipping shit, y'all, because I drew out them cards and started slapping her with it. So y'all do the math on how many cards she had to draw, because I had 4 draw 8s that I threw down at her. I mean, draw 4s that I threw out at her. So she was pissed. Now she starts going off on me, going off on everybody. Like, I'm sick of this. Y'all are lame. Like, why would y'all do me like that? Oh my God, I can't believe you. And I'm just like, bro. And then my friend, the same friend that she just was going off on, telling her, like, that's why your man cheated on you. That same friend, Joycelyn, turned around and was like, bro, you just did that to her. And she didn't behave like that. Why are you behaving like this? So again, I look over at the guy, Rocky's face, and he looks so flustered, like he's ready to go to sleep at this point. You could tell somebody is like uncomfortable. He was definitely uncomfortable and ready for us to get the fuck ASAP. So Joycelyn is trying to talk to her, trying to calm her down like it's not that serious. We're just playing a game. And Honey is not going for it. She is pissed. She is livid, past pistivity. And I'm like, bruh, like, let's go. Like, at this point, let's go. It's time to go. I can't believe we're doing this in front of somebody that doesn't know us. I'm literally pissed. And I just felt bad for my friend, Nita. Like, I'm like, Nita, you don't deserve this. Like, at all. Did I say her name was Nita or Netta? Child, I don't remember. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But Nita and Rocky, I just really felt bad for them in that moment. And y'all thought that was bad too? No, it wasn't. Soon as she started going off again on Joycelyn, she started going off again on Joycelyn because Joycelyn was trying to calm her down. And everybody in the room at this point is quiet. We don't know what to say. We don't know what to do. Like, it's like we're in a trance. I'm like, I can't believe that my roommate is acting like this in front of our friend's man. Like, what is wrong with you? So she sits on this man's desk, and I saw it had beefaroni on it. So I know she saw it had beefaroni on it. I mean, I'm only 5 foot even. You're only like maybe 5. She was at like maybe 5'6". You're not that tall. So there's no reason for you not to have seen that it was beefaroni. And she sat in it on that man's desk and then got up and sat on that man's pillow. She put her ass on the man's pillow where he puts his head every night. And I just was like, whoa. I said, honey, you need to get up. It's time to go. It's time to go. She's like, no, I'm not going nowhere. We need to finish the game. Are we finishing the game? Are we done playing? I'm like, yo, like, what is going on here? Because this is getting very weird. I'm uncomfortable. And I know that this man is uncomfortable in his own living space that we just came into. And like I said, I've never seen this girl act like this. It had been communicating for months. And I never saw a sign that she behaved like this. Again, we'd all been friends. So we all built a relationship. And everybody was just looking flabbergasted because we could not believe that this behavior was happening in front of our eyes, in front of this man. And I will never forget when she picked up the iron that you iron clothes with. She picked it up and started doing one of these. If y'all know irons have water inside, that iron had water inside. And she started splashing around the room with this iron. And the man was like, oh yeah. He whispered to his girl, like, you gotta get them out of here. They gotta go. And I just remember everything at that point started moving in slow-mo. Like, it felt like I was in a movie. I didn't know what to do besides get my stuff and leave. So we all started walking out the room. And me and Angel, you know, we started walking out together. Honey is in front of us. She's like at this point running out the room, done slammed the door. These doors were metal doors. So just imagine the slam from this girl. Like I said, she's 5'6". I don't want to say how much she weighed at the time, but she was on the heavier side. That's all I'm going to say. Or she was a plus size girl. And she slammed that door so hard. I mean, I shook. Like, I shook. And I'm like, yo. I had to ask Angel, yo, what just happened back there? It was Angel, Joycelyn, and Nasty that were together. We left Nita in the room with Rocky. And I could only imagine what that conversation was like. I remember when she did come back the next day to come and tell us what happened. She was just like, you know, he was really upset. He couldn't believe, you know, what happened. And I was like, you know, I pray that, you know, he doesn't stop talking to you because of what happened. He didn't, but it was very weird and uncomfortable. And I have more to the story that you guys will possibly get in another part. But I want to leave y'all on that note to tell y'all how the rest of the school year went with Honey as my roommate. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. And, let me give you some closing statements. So, this is one of the reasons why I don't have female friends. There's several reasons, but I want to build you guys up so that you guys can understand why I am so introverted into myself, because I've been through some things with females, and it honestly pushes me further and further away from making new relationships, healthy relationships with people, because I have a hard time trusting them. I have male friends and I do have female friends, but I am so like closed off in a sense that I'm scared to trust people because of the situations in which I've been in. And I just wanted to give you guys a little story time on what it was like my freshman year at Bethune-Cookman with my roommates. Just a tidbit. Stay tuned for part 2. You never know. It's like I said, it's so much more to how the semester ended and how the school year ended, if we remained friends. If you want to know all of that stuff, you better stay tuned for part 2. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you here for part 2.